world that could be the peoples, and not all states, particularly some kind of states. And the Security Council should be expanded, and at the same time should have a Security Council for questions of security at the worldwide level, but also Environmental Council and Economic Council. All this has been already suggested. Jacques Delors suggested the Economic Council, and more recently has been suggested the Environmental Council. What I would like to tell you is that, of course, United States is not only, the United Nations is not only to say go ahead with a war, but is the place in which they could give to the representative of the all countries of the world, for example, as being the partner to go to see Gaddafi or to talk in a given moment with China, for example, because China today has a delocalized capacity of production that is immense, and has an immense also economic power, but there are many things in China that now also must be taken into account, must be considered, because they have 1,300,000,000 of human beings, are Chinese, but they are human beings, and they must be treated as human beings. And finally, well, Madam, the Nordic countries in general, you have mentioned Finland, but the Nordic countries have always been the point of reference for the support of this union at the worldwide level. They have been, even in difficult moments, very difficult, in moments in which the United States and the United Kingdom were leaving the United Nations system. And UNESCO, they left UNESCO. But now they are back, but they left. And they were weakening the United Nations. Always the support of the Nordic countries, Norway, Denmark, Netherlands, Finland, Sweden. Now the things have changed. The things have changed because some of these countries are very, very powerful from the economic point of view, and perhaps with this new vision they consider that the human rights that they were the first to respect throughout the world, now in some of these countries, as you know, they have problems with some parties that represent positions very different to those that were normal in the Nordic countries. But well, anyhow, I can tell you that for me this is always very important to realize that Europe can become really an area of democracy, of example of values and cultural respect throughout the world, with the absolutely necessary contribution of the Nordic countries.
Thank you very much. So it's an last question, or do you have time?
Thank you so much. Alfred Pitar from JCI Catalonia. First of all, congratulations for this speech, so clear. One question, please, for you in the same clear. What do you think about this social movement that there are around the world climbing for a real democracy with campsites in the main squares? What do you think, please?
Well, I think that was foreseeable, because in the year 92, it was already very clear that in the moment in which you have a tool that allows you to express yourself, without any kind of restriction, was foreseeable that in a given moment this will be utilized. And will be utilized by whom? Normally by those that are more frequently utilizing these tools, that is the young people. And I wrote already in 1994, I wrote this because it was very easy to, not because I have a very good system in UNESCO of perspective, of course, but anyhow, this was very clear. Now we have the possibility of not remaining silent anymore, because we can express ourselves. And you know that the consultations, for example, are very highly regulated in the world, because we say, no, a democracy cannot allow you to make a consultation here or there. Now we can say exactly what we want, and immediately there is the possibility by the states, for example, as today it is said that they are trying to do in Syria, of trying, but all this, as you know, they can do this during 2 or 3 days, but immediately there are the possibilities of finding other ways of expressing yourself, utilizing the computers and the internet, etc. Therefore, I think that was foreseeable, and I think that is very positive. The first that were already giving us the possibility of this expression in a really popular mobilization was in Iran. In Iran, around 2 or 3 years ago, was already, and was impressive, to realize that in Iran, one theocratic system could have all this, normally a lot of women with the computer expressing themselves, and as you remember, there were even former presidents of Iran that were on the move, and that was very clear. Immediately, well, the power is immense, but immediately they failed at this moment, but now it is very clear that Iran has already a fermentation, if you like to tell this way, in which the expression of the dissent and of different expressions of views are already a reality. And later was in China. In China was not very powerful, but also was very important, because the day in which they will provide more possibilities to more citizens, the mobilization in China can also be extremely important. And then Tunis, and then Egypt, and then Libya, and now Yemen. And it is for this that we realize that now Yemen and Syria are going out of the possible control. It is for this that I think that the United Nations are now more necessary than ever. But now we have here in Spain, as it was the case already in United Kingdom. In United Kingdom there was a mobilization also through the internet by more, they say that about 500,000 young persons concerning with the tax in the university, etc. Therefore, what is my view on this movement? Very good. I think that this is the expression of the people. It's peaceful. They say what they think. And I think that is very good, provided that now they come back to the cyberspace. Because they cannot be permanently in one place here or there. They can, in my view, mobilize every month, for example, to say, well, every month, and now we are going to ask, not for protest, but for proposals, very concrete proposals. For example, in Spain, it is very clear, and everybody agrees, the reform of the electoral law. This is very clear. And then, I think that now they should concentrate on this in order to demonstrate that we have already a success. And then they can also, for example, request new media control for faithful information. I think that is absolutely impossible that one country like Spain has not today a regulation of the veracity of the media, because it's a scandal, and as you know, also in the television, progressively, we have nearly all the chains, all the channels at this moment are already of the same owner. Therefore, I think that if they are able now to follow on a peaceful way, this is essential, and telling debates and then concrete proposals. They, in my view, have also a very clear proposal to be made concerning those that can be candidates when there is an election process. I think that this is very, very important, because they say we want real democracy. And real democracy is the democracy that is genuine, that is authentic. The only problem that I think is that if some radical groups finally remain in the same places, then the possibility exists that the proposals do not appear. Only appear the protest, and the protest already with some violence. Well, but I hope that this will not be the case. I personally, from many months ago, I am trying to help in the sense of saying crime of silence. We must express ourselves, but we must express ourselves peacefully, and we must show that we are able today, the young people in one country, or the people in general, we are able to build a very strong democracy, because for the first time in history we are able to express them ourselves, not only in the voting moment but through the new technology of communication. Thank you very much. Now I must leave because I must go back to my... Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor Zaragoza. And at that time, I would like to invite to the stage the EVP Hans-Erik Kjuseth from Denmark and the World President Kentaro Harada, who want to give a present of the conference to Mr. Zaragoza and for the official picture. Thank you very much.